All right, joining us now tonight from Washington is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, a Republican from the great state of Louisiana. Speaker Johnson, we thank you for joining us here and taking time to speak with us. Listen, I give you credit for coming out here. You've been doing numerous interviews on every network, including ours, and you took that call from that military family. That can't be easy to hear those types of calls. I do want to start with the issue of military pay. NBC News has reporting from two sources that during a call with congressional Republicans, you rejected the idea of doing a standalone bill for military pay. What do you say to military families who are incredibly worried about not getting that next paycheck? Why wouldn't you at least try to get a standalone bill together?
Well, I tell them that we're worried about their not getting paid as well, and that's why we already voted to pay the troops. We did that 3 weeks ago almost. September 19th, the continuing resolution that all the Republicans voted for was to keep the government open, to keep military families paid, to keep their veterans' health services going, to keep the Border Patrol and TSA agents and air traffic controllers and everybody else paid at their current levels. Every Democrat in the House of Representatives, except one, voted to close the government down and to stop their pay. Their concern is not with Republicans. We did that job. It has been sitting on the desk of Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats. We passed it out of the House. The ball is in the Senate's court right now, and that's why I'm insisting that they get to work and they open the government so that our troops can be paid.
Speaking of 3 weeks ago, you know, Speaker Johnson, a very prominent member of your Republican caucus, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, has been critical of you for not bringing the House back into session. Why shouldn't they come back to work on this?
Because the House did its job. Marjorie's critical of me all the time for all sorts of things, okay? The House did its work. We sent the bill over. We passed a clean continuing resolution. What that means for the folks back home is it's a simple stopgap funding measure to keep the lights on, to keep government operating so that we can finish the federal budgeting to spend the taxpayers' dollars wisely. That was Republicans and Democrats that decided upon the date. We just needed 7 more weeks. I sent over there a clean CR for the Senate to do its work. And by the way, Senator Schumer and the Democrat senators who have now voted 7 times to close the government and cause all this harm voted for the same CR as recently as March. Chuck Schumer was the champion for passing it just 7 months ago.
But
identical product, he's saying no now.
Explain to our viewers, though, but why shouldn't they be there working for their constituents there in Washington? Why send them home? Couldn't you guys get some work done, number one? And number two, is this just a political play not to give Democrats any type of momentum?
No, this is House Republicans are doing a huge amount of work. We had a conference call today assessing all of that. They're in their districts right now. What they're doing is helping their constituents navigate the harms that have been caused by the Democrats who are playing political games here and closing the government. Again, they voted 7 times to shut the government down. So our members are in their districts helping, for example, their rural hospitals navigate to get the funding. Republicans passed $50 billion to prop up rural hospitals to support the health care of their constituents, and Chuck Schumer's counterproposal is to claw that back and not spend it. There is really important work being done right now, and we'll get back to regular session as soon as the Senate votes to turn the lights back on.
All right. The Democrats are refusing to vote for the spending bill in the Senate because they want to extend enhanced Obamacare subsidies that expire at the end of the year. And yet a survey by the nonpartisan health policy research group KFF found that 78% of adults believe those enhanced subsidies should be extended. That includes 82% of independents and roughly 6 in 10 Republicans. The Constitution requires compromise between legislators, and Americans support what they're asking for. So I guess, Speaker Johnson, my question to you, why not give it to them? And I got to ask, you're a year away from the midterms. Are you starting to sweat this?
No one has made a decision on those subsidies. There's a lot of reforms, probably 100 different ideas on how to improve it. The reason that Obamacare is having to be subsidized is because premiums have gone through the roof. When Obamacare was passed in 2010, they promised that the cost of care would go down. It's risen 60% since that time. There are a lot of ideas on how to reform it and make it better, but you said the key phrase, end of the year. That is a December 31st policy decision. It had nothing to do with keeping the government open on September 30th, the end of the fiscal year, so that Republicans and Democrats can be here to have those debates and figure out how to resolve it. They're not telling the American people the truth. What is a simple truth here is that Republicans have now voted repeatedly to keep the government open, and the Democrats have voted repeatedly to shut it down. They're trying to make a political moment out of this at the expense of real people back home that are being hurt. Come and do your job, I would say to the Senate Democrats.
Let's talk about those comments that Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer made, telling Punchbowl News that every day the shutdown continues gets better for Democrats. He said he was talking about their health care argument. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, clean up on aisle 5. Chuck Schumer told you exactly what he thinks. He's doing this for his own benefit. He is afraid he's going to get a challenge from the Marxist left in his party. Remember, he's a senator from New York. New York is about to elect a Marxist, the mayor of New York City. He is terrified that he's going to get a challenge to his left flank and he's going to lose his seat. He's been in Congress for 44 years, so he made a calculation. He cannot take the heat from the left of his party, and he decided to pull this political stunt for that reason. One reason alone. Everybody in Washington knows that's what's going on here, and it is infuriating to us that they're using the American people as pawns in this game.
I want to play you something.
We've done the right thing. We've done the easy thing, and it should happen again.